Cool. Guess what, guys? There we go. It's Wednesday night at 6:11. It's Real Unfiltered Talk. I'm James Bryan alongside, well, we'll be alongside Dion Hibden, who's sitting in the crowd, hobnobbing with the big folks. But he's all good. You can keep talking. It's all right. Don't get in a hurry. They're talking about Little House on the Prairie, so folks will be back in about 45 minutes when they get done with that, and we'll talk about that. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. What? Chat's connected. Hey, buddy. That's Sam. Looks like Sam Bryant's on his way over.
It did it again.
It broke again. Well, we're going to have to glue it, okay, buddy? Whoa. You want to take that over and show it to Mommy?
No.
All right. Well, this is Real Unfiltered Talk. We are at... I can't fix it right now, bud. Here you go, Mom. All right. We are the fishing show that sometimes talks about fishing. Sometimes we don't. We are at the beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. We are in Laurie, Missouri at the Legends and Liars Club, where some of us are liars and some of us are legends, but the legend just showed up, everybody. Big round of applause for the two-time world champion, Dion Hibden. How's that?
That was awesome.
You have to get. We're not wireless. You're gonna have to scoot up and talk to it now. We're gonna eat the microphone. That's what Steve said. Eat the microphone. It's better tonight, right? I moved the speakers around like you told me. Turn the volume up. That's a song.
Now we have a sound man.
Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume.
That's right.
Holy cow! I'm tired and wore out.
That pizza works. Hard stuff, isn't it?
Sometimes. And now we're fixing to get a storm. It's smoky, all kinds of crazy stuff. How's your week?
Good. All is good.
That's it?
Yeah, I don't have much. It's been
Well,
hot.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week.
It's been hot. It's been hot. And I don't like fishing after dark, so
I
I
hear you.
haven't been going a whole lot.
So, little housekeeping. Bob Cox from last week called me back. He wanted everybody to know that he sold his business in 2005.
There you go.
So and he said that was not the champion days. Wasn't in the champion days. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that
all
was
right.
before that.
Before that. So, and I said, Bob, I don't think anybody cared. Your story's cool enough, but
That's right. It's still a good story.
yep. And I want to talk about Rob Yauntz. You don't know who that is, but we talked about him. I think it's Bob. It's Bob or Rob. Let me look it up here real quick. I'll tell you. It's now it's thundering. Let's see here.
I got to meet the guy that won the Big Bass Bash
Yeah,
that we were going to have on.
we still can one of these days.
Yeah.
All
He was
right.
at Bob's funeral.
Gotcha. This was Robert Ewins or Yowens. He's the guy I was telling you about that was in the John boat going all the way around the loop.
yeah.
He's almost done.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't break the record though, but still pretty cool. He was going by the St. Louis Arch this morning. And I'll tell you what, for a little John boat, for guys that don't know what we're talking about, there's a guy out there, he's about 75-ish, maybe. And he went around the Gulf of Mexico, or the Gulf of Florida, the Panhandle, sorry.
Yeah.
He went around the Panhandle, he went up the entire East Coast. He went into New York. He cut across the Great Lakes, got back down the Missouri River, went all the way down the Mississippi, and then back out Louisiana to the channel and did the full loop.
That's
And
amazing.
his goal was doing a 16-foot John boat in 19 days and 9 hours was the world record. And he got hung up in a lock. He crashed his boat and broke his keel. He had to get it welded
Oh.
up, so he fell a little short, but still completed it, or he's on the course of completing it. It's kind of neat, but he was going by the arch this morning. I thought it was kind of cool. So I started following him on Facebook. I thought it was kind of a neat deal. I think we should try it.
That's a crazy deal. I don't like driving a boat that much.
You can ride.
Yeah, but I don't like riding in a boat that much. I'm telling you, that's a long dang ways.
Yeah, a lot of river.
Yeah, that's a lot of river, a lot of treacherous water. That's what got me when you went to tell me what size boat he was in. That's a little boat.
He was doing it with a tiller steer, with like a 16-foot, like a Lumacraft. And I'm sorry if it's not. I'm sure they might correct me. But he's running like a 35-horse Tohatsu with a tiller steer, making that it's like a 4,000 or 5,000 mile loop. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
But I watched a
pretty
video
amazing.
of him. He's got that thing dialed in. It's
Yeah.
got to have like a prop that's this big around because he was hauling the mail. It was kind of cool. But anyway,
You go 3,000 or 4,000 miles, you get that stuff figured out.
it's kind of neat.
You can get one dialed in 4,000 miles.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
That's right.
You have long to figure it out. So it's kind of our tech. It's our every other week. It's kind of our Tech Wednesday. This is normally the time we talk about.
Motor height and trim would come in at some point in time. You
Yeah.
would think, yeah. Okay, I need another half a mile an hour out of this thing.
But see, he had. So if we're going to talk about tech on boats. He had like 6 red gas cans going up either side of the boat. So he probably had 60 gallon maybe, unless they were 10 gallon. Then he had 120 gallon. But that boat still had lift, and he was sitting in the very back.
Probably not that little motor.
It was kind of cool.
I mean, he probably had 6-gallon cans.
I don't know. It was cool. But
35 horse to go a long ways on 6 gallons of gas.
they go a hell of a long way on 120.
Not 4,000 miles, but a long
Yeah.
ways.
It's still kind of neat. So, yeah. So a lot's happened here in the beautiful Lake of the Ozarks here in central Missouri. We've had record heat.
Yes,
It has been,
it's been very normal.
like, I'm still sweating profusely from making pizza.
Yeah,
And now I know why those guys in the factories don't really they adjust to the heat well.
yeah.
You adjusted to it pretty quick, which big thanks to Ron Sisk and Rod for helping me out making pizzas tonight. We got slammed there at the very end, and we were 10 minutes late because of it. If it wasn't for those guys, we'd be 40 minutes late.
There you go.
Thanks for not helping, by the way. Sitting here just telling stories.
Somebody had to entertain these people out here.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to 2 guys over here. Might converted them into bass fishing.
Converted?
Yeah, they're trout fishermen.
They don't count.
Well,
All right, so let's get down to some nitty gritty because I need to pick your brain for a minute.
I asked them the same question about how do you eat a trout, and they said, "Oh, you don't eat a trout."
Yeah, trout are gross.
I know that.
Well, I think we've had this conversation before. There's only 2 fish that eat cheese.
Oh yeah,
One's a trout. You know what the other one is?
carp.
Carp. Yeah. So, and we don't eat carp. Well, I mean, I think I'd be pretty hungry. Here we go.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what smoking a fish means? They're so disgusting. That's the only thing left you can do to make them taste good. Yes. Yeah.
I could eat my Nike if I smoked it long.
That's right. They put enough seasoned wood and spices on it.
That's
You can
right.
eat a sneaker. That's right. So yeah, not a big fan of either.
Yeah.
I've had carp. You've had carp.
Yes, I've tasted everything that
Yeah.
pretty much swims in the lake.
Yep. What's the worst in your opinion? Let's go worst to better.
The worst.
Worst.
You know, a big buffalo is good if you eat it fresh out of the skillet and
Right.
you don't freeze it. There's something about once it gets cold, it turns into rubber,
Right.
and then you might as well be chewing on a piece of your tennis shoe.
Okay.
It loses its flavor, its texture goes away. It's kind of crazy. But when it's warm and fresh out of the skillet, it's actually very tasty.
So what's your worst? Are you going for
It's
buffalo
it.
being the worst?
Buffalo, I think, is
Okay.
the worst.
I have not eaten a shad.
I've never eaten a shad. So see, you're saying stuff
Yeah.
now that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, shad in the crowd. No. Ed's out.
If I put one in my mouth, something happened.
All right. So
I was on a beach somewhere for a long time.
my first house on the
Huh?
water.
Sardines? Yeah.
Shad's different. They're too oily.
And I'm telling you right now, shad might be great if you soaked them in the right stuff long enough.
I don't believe we're going to partake in that.
No, I'm not going to try it, but
All right. So
there's too many other good fish.
my first house on the lake, 3 neighbors down. He invited me over to eat drum,
Yeah.
and he made drum tuna. And he actually boiled the meat and then sifted the bones and the meat out with a net, and then the rest of the meat he made into a tuna. Pretty gross.
Yeah.
So pretty gross on that one. So mine would be drum for the
Now-
worst.
Now, see the difference. You have to know the difference between a buffalo and a drum. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, a drum, I've smelt people try to cook them,
Yeah.
you know, and I
Yep.
guided some Amish people here a couple years ago, and the older fella I kept turning them back. We catch them catfishing, and you catch them ones that are about, 16, 18 inches long, like you catch a gazillion of.
Yep.
And I would just unhook them, throw them back. Well, I had 2 of his grandsons here at my feet, and needless to say, every time they'd hook one, I'd just bring it in, unhook it, throw it back. And finally, about 7 or 8 in, he says, "Hey, guide, wouldn't call you by my name.
Yeah.
Hey, you guide. I said, how come you're throwing my fish back? I said, you ain't eating them. I said, we don't keep them in my boat. He says, I'm paying for this guide trip. We'll keep whatever I want. I said, I ain't keeping none of them. He says, well, what if I don't pay your guide fee? I said, well, we can go to the bank now if you like. And he says, I'm keeping a couple. He said, because I can't believe you can't eat them. He says, in our history, we can eat about anything. And I said, okay, whatever you say. So he kept 3 or 4 of them. About a week later, I go into the local grocery store, and I see this little old woman in her bonnet and whole grocery cart full of groceries. And as soon as I walked in, the guy standing behind her immediately dropped his head. And I thought,
I know you.
Was that my fishing partner right there? And the woman glared at me like she was wanting to throw daggers at me. She looks at me and she goes, she gives me the finger, this one, come here. And I walked over there to her and I said, yes, ma'am. She says, do you know this guy standing behind me? And he raises his head up. I said, yes, I do. I said, what happened? She said, well, you have my permission. The next time you tell him to turn a fish back and he doesn't do it, he said, you have my permission to bring him back to the house. She said, my house still stinks. She said, he made me try to cook those 2 little fish. And he said, it about ruined our kitchen. She says, I think we're going to have to repaint. I said, I told him it wasn't no good.
I heard your wife say the same thing after you got out of the bathroom the other day.
Oh, that could be.
You have to repaint.
Could be.
No. All right. Best.
The best?
Yeah.
I have a couple of different ones that, walleye's
This
pretty
is the
hard to
big
beat.
argument. Walleye versus
Walleye's
crappie.
pretty hard to beat. Walleye's pretty hard to beat. Some of you might not know what a smelt is.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever eaten smelt?
Now I'm talking about the lake here.
Oh, the lake here.
Yeah, let's go here.
Walleye's the best.
Walleye.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you for a loop here. I think gar is way up on the list.
I do enjoy it.
And just like you said before, as long as you cook it fresh,
Yep.
right out of the hole, and don't let it get cold because it's like gator meat. It'll turn into a rubber ball if you let it get back to room temperature. But gar's not bad.
No,
I give it a 3 or a 4 on the list
Yeah,
behind walleye and crappie.
Yeah, it would be up in the top 5 on mine.
It's not bad. So they're kind of a pain in the butt to clean and all that
Yes.
stuff, though. But yeah,
It's
but
like
all
eating
day.
a pickerel.
A pickle.
Pickerel are great
pickerel.
to eat, but
Like you said, a pickle.
it's kind of hard to get that Y bone out of there if you don't know what you're doing. Do I know what I'm doing? No.
All I could think about was the song. The knee bone's connected to the Y bone. No, but that's not it. It's
That's
thigh
not
bone.
it.
Yeah. But it was still good.
That's good. Yeah, good crossover there.
All right. So if you're in Missouri, eat a walleye.
Walleye's the best.
If you're desperate, eat a gar, and don't eat a drum. There you go.
Yeah.
That's our show. So
I don't like the taste of a bass. And I think it's a mental deal more than anything.
it kind of
I
tastes
think-
mealy to me. I don't know.
I think as soon as I put it in my mouth, it's like chewing up a dollar bill.
It's like you sinned.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if
It's hard to do.
what if you kill one?
Yeah.
Would you still do it?
I've cooked them.
Yeah.
I've
Still
cooked
doesn't
ones
feel
that
right,
died.
does it?
No, it's not right.
Yeah. I have to agree.
I look to my left and I think, man, what if I'd ate some of them?
Yeah.
So I can't.
I was catfishing off Dad's dock, and had like night crawlers on the bottom, and hear him yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had night crawlers fishing the bottom for channel cat, and I caught like a 2.5 pounder, and he gulleted it all the way down, and yeah, I ate him.
You have to every now and then. But I'm the same way with them as any of the rest. As long as you keep it cool, don't freeze it, it's better.
Yeah. All right, so let's shift gears.
All right?
We're gonna close the book on eating fish.
Eating fish.
All right. I'm going to ask your expertise today on something that's happened here at the lake, and it's probably happened everywhere around the country. But as I started the show, it's been 96 degrees for like 5 days in a row. The heat index has been like 109,
Yes, sir?
107, 109. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. My beer jockey asked me if I need another drink. I was like, hell yeah. Anyway, so as we're talking right now, the temperature is dropping from 96 to 76. It's raining. That's like a 20 to 30 degree temperature swing. Thanks, Ed. Right?
Yes.
I guarantee you there's some guys out there that want to come to town this weekend and they want to know how they're going to be able to catch fish. Now, it's safe to say that the surface temperature is going to drop substantially. True or false?
A little bit.
You don't think so?
Well, it depends on how much rain we get.
Well, how much rain are we supposed to get? None?
If it rains a good bit, it could cool it off. But it needs to be a good cool rain. You know, it can't be. See, that's the thing with these storms. You can be right in front of it, and it'd be 20 degrees difference. You can be right behind it, and it not be cool enough, or not have enough wind.
Gotcha.
The water temperature only changes a bunch. It's if it gets stirred up, like
So,
with wind. Yeah.
But we're not. So our tech support out in the crowd says we're going to get about a quarter of an inch rain, which means we're probably going to get a lot of current. Right?
Current's not a bad thing right now.
But I don't think we're going to get it. I don't think they're going to run water, do you?
Well, but up north is where they're getting it.
Okay. So it runs down, fills up, we get current. Well,
It helps.
all right. So what do we do to go fishing this weekend?
Well, I'm going to stick with them points pretty close.
Really?
I'm going to stick
I wouldn't
on
think
them
that.
points a little bit. But I'm going to stick to points that have a piece of brush close too, you know, because they are getting to the point now where they need to have a piece of brush.
So we're gonna start focusing on brush a little more now.
We're going to start making sure there's some there.
All right.
When they're feeding, they're still going to be on the points. And that's where you're going to catch multiple bass.
Right.
You know, when you pull up and you catch 4 or 5 on one, making one cast.
Right.
With this rain coming in and the, little bit cooler temperatures, they're probably not going to be quite as deep. You know, they're probably going to be up there in that 8 to 10, even shallower range, and on the part of the lake that's overall shallower, it might be all the way up to that 5-foot range.
Okay.
So you just got to kind of take into consideration it's not going to change a ton. It's going
Right.
to change a little bit. And when I say change a little bit, 2 or 3 degrees, but that's
Okay.
a bunch. As hot as it is, that's a lot. That's like you and I getting under a shade tree or sitting in the sun. That's the difference. And what I just said there means a lot. Okay? Little bit of shade makes a big difference on where that bass stands
Right.
during the day. The daylight hours, you got to consider one thing. He's no different than anybody else. He doesn't want to stand right out in the middle of the sun.
Right.
So he's going to be in a shady spot or down a little deeper, in around a pile of brush.
Okay. So let's talk about sun versus shade and conditions that are unique this week. It's not going to happen all the time, but I think it's going to happen. I think if we pay attention to like small changes, makes you a better fisherman, right?
Yep.
So we've got beat down sun the last 2 weeks. And the one thing that provides the most shade on Lake of the Ozarks is, it's not a trick
Docks.
question, thank you, docks. So we haven't really talked about this much, but when you see a shadow that's cast off the side of a dock, that is natural cover for a fish.
Absolutely.
So they'll lay in the shade, and it's a great place to pitch to.
I consider that as much as I do considering a pile of brush.
Yeah.
To me, that dab of shade means as much as a log.
Now, let's talk about presenting to shade. A lot of guys will throw. If you're on a lake across the country that does not have docks, just go have a cocktail and come back to us and we'll talk later. Some of the southern places have pier docks with poles that go into the ground. We have dead man's here that have poles also, which are also tremendous place for a fish to hide on.
Sure.
But if there are a free floating structure out there, let's say, I even had success with floating swimming mats. They've been in the water for a long
Sure,
time.
yep.
They got algae growing on them. Those fish will lay under them. But is it better to cast and pull out of the shade, or to stay in the shade and pull all the way through the range of shade? Do you know what I mean?
I like to start in the sun because I think he's in the shade. I think he's in the shade, backed up under the shade, looking out into the sun. That's the best place for him to visually see stuff.
But towards
It-
deeper water, you think he's looking towards the bank?
That kind of depends on where the shade's at, but mainly he looks out there, kind of looking in towards the sun. He's not going to look in deeper into the shade. He's going to look out into the brightness, and that allows him to see a little bit better. That's where his food's going to come from most of the time, is in the open.
Right.
You know, those big
Well-
schools of shad aren't going to swim up under them docks.
I was just
They're out in the open.
I was just going to that because Monday I took a cocktail cruise. You know what that is, right?
Drinking a beer on the pontoon.
You got it. So, and it was really hot, but I went out, and the one thing, and it was 7-ish, 6:37 in the evening, and the one thing I really wanted to see was where the shad had surfaced. And you know how many shad I saw?
None.
None. Zero. And I know you've been paying close attention to the shad last couple of weeks. Why aren't there any shad up on the surface right now flicking like they do?
I think a lot of it's water movement. A lot. I mean, and I'm trying to be as
And I'm not
technical as I can be.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot
No.
because when we were talking about a bass that's in the shade, he's looking for bait. I did not see any presence of bait, and I know they're there.
It's there. It's there. It's just it's down a little bit. You know, for the most part, it's down, and it's towards the main lake. It's out towards the current.
Now, do you think a shad's looking for cooler water, or looking for more current, or for a higher oxygen,
I think
or
that
all the above?
I think the current's more of a better breathing, oxygenated water. You know, because the current's moving, flowing, got a little bit of water motion. And also this time of the year, they seek out the wind too. Anywhere the wind blows is better for them. You know, because you get a little bit more, you know, a little more O2 in the water.
Right, and we won't
So-
have probably a lot of rain, but I think we'll have a lot of wind. And I think that'll make a big difference too. So we talk about where those fish live a lot. You guys all know what we're talking about. Now if you shift up a little bit and find, as Dion said in the beginning, I'm going to try to narrow it all down to find the perfect spot. You ready? The perfect spot today is off of Main Lake Point, a little bit of structure. If there's a dock over it with shade, you have hit the mother lode. In 8 feet or less water.
That's where I'm going to chase them
How does that sound?
for a while. Yeah,
See, all you gotta do is just listen.
that's where I'm going to chase them for a while right now. Now, you know, that's just you just picked a pattern out of everything we've talked about so far.
Right.
Well, that's what we do. That's what we think about.
Mhm.
You know, where should they be? And we try to narrow it down to where we can do it faster.
Right.
You know, and get in there and find them a little faster. You know, I've said it many, many times. The lower you get on Lake of the Ozarks, the deeper the fish get. And especially that's this time of the year. And that's because of water clarity. The water clarity clears up as you get to the deeper water. They just move a little deeper, you know, just because of, you know, they get a little bit more sunshine. So they move out there a little bit deeper. Get
Now-
a little cloudier, shadier water.
For those who have never listened to our show before, I'm going to remind you of a couple of terms that we use. Okay. The lower end means the downstream furthest end to a dam or the end of
Closest
the
to
lake.
the dam.
But you're also going to find that the lower end, because you said the lower end, the fish typically are deeper, but the lower end typically is deeper.
And it's normally the rocky, more bouldery end of the lake.
So
when you get up shallower and you get where the thing narrows down, then you get into more silty mud.
yeah, let's have some fun with
Stuff
this.
like that.
All right, let's have some fun with this. So on Grand Lake, that would be not Honey Creek, but heading down the other way towards the dam. So you go to the Shangri-La in the Four Corners, you're going to turn right, and you're going to work that lower end.
Yep.
There's one. Rayburn. Behind the islands towards the dam?
No, Rayburn's just a lot more wide open. The lower end, I would consider the lower end on Rayburn to be from Veach Basin all the way down to the dam, all the way up the other arm, you know, a couple miles up the other arm.
Okay.
That's the lower end.
Truman Lake.
Truman Lake, anything below the bridges.
That's
would be the lower end.
the 7 mile down to the dam.
Yeah, and I would consider it.
State Park.
Yeah, I would
Down.
consider on up Osage Bluff and down.
The cut through. What about Sterrett? Is that too? Is that
Osage
out in the
Bluff
creek?
and down. Sterrett Creek. That's
Because you're kind of
definitely
off.
down.
You're off.
Yeah, but it's still down. It's on the very lowest end.
All right.
You know, you go up Truman, you get up around Long Shoal, it necks down into a river.
Ready for a trick? Okeechobee.
Okeechobee?
Yep.
Okeechobee's a fishbowl.
Yeah, it's a bowl.
There is no low end.
Monkey box.
Monkey box? Nah,
Is that the deeper end?
Nah, it's just a bay.
Yeah.
It's just another part of Okeechobee that's
So there's no lower end on Okeechobee.
no. But you do have to consider water clarity on Okeechobee.
Yeah.
As bad now as ever, and a lot of that's because of the vegetation, the way the vegetation grows now down there. The sad and unfortunate part is cormorants have changed the ecosystem of Lake Okeechobee forever.
Before we go any further, cormorant, however you want to say it, invasive bird. Not everybody's like really into it, so I'm just kind of, in case
Yeah.
you don't know, it's a bird.
I'm going to
Go
tell
ahead.
you right now, I hope that all the PETA people are listening, you know, because I think when you get your hunt license, you should have to kill at least 1,000 cormorants
Yeah.
to get your license,
Funny.
because they're a complete nuisance, and they have ruined so many of our good waterways, because all they do is eat and crap, and they crap so much that the trees around the rim ditch on Lake Okeechobee used to be a great barrier for the wind. Okeechobee's flat. Okay, everybody knows that. State of Florida, tallest hill in it, you can see over. Okay, there's no hills, nothing to break the wind. Okay, Okeechobee always had that barrier of trees, looked like a giant donut from the up above. Always had those trees. Those cormorants, it's the furthest south, or one of the furthest south places where they kind of stop and live and spend their winters before they head back north. There's so many of them that they roosted in those trees around Okeechobee, because for a fish or a bird like that to roost, why not roost right on the water? They roosted in those trees. They crapped on them so much, killed them all. Now they've all fallen down, and now you can look across Okeechobee from side to side, and the tallest thing out there is you. That's it. And it's because those birds,
Yeah.
but it's
But that's-
killed them down.
But that's geese.
It's killed it down to where now there's nothing can stop that wind. So every time they have a hurricane, it blows in there, tears up all the grass, and now you don't have any clear water for the fish to
Interesting.
spawn in.
Is that true?
Is that true? Yeah.
I'm just asking. I mean, make up some stuff.
Don't believe
you know?
me, call Scott Martin, ask him.
All right, man.
He'll tell you the truth on that.
Yeah, but can you believe him?
You can on that.
one?
You can on that one, because
Okay.
there's probably not a bigger
Ugh.
advocate. Which,
For cormorants?
but if I had as much money invested in the lake as he does,
Sure.
I would be on
Okay.
my bandwagon to get everybody to get
So,
rid of them.
so we're fortunate that we have geese, not cormorants, even though they
No.
poop 10 times worse.
You know,
Not horrible bad. There's
they
cormorants
don't.
here.
The cormorants don't stay around here quite as bad, and I think it's because we have a lot of deeper water,
And we have season. They don't.
and we have a season.
They
yes.
migrate.
They have to move.
Yep.
They won't stay where it's too cold too long, so they migrate on south. Oh yeah, they run them here too. But
You see them more in Truman though, with standing timber.
yep, and look at
which is-
Truman.
yeah.
Look
Fortunately,
at-
they're already dead.
yeah, they're already dead.
Yep.
But it's a good place for them to roost. And that's why, you guys want to understand this a little bit better? That's why they're not here.
Because
They have Truman.
Yep.
They have Truman where there's no fishermen. There's nobody up there. So they got all them standing old trees to roost in all night long, and no fishermen to stir them up. Or,
Power
It-
boats.
yeah, power boats, anything.
Yep.
So it's much quieter up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Kill them.
We had them in Colorado too.
Kill them.
Kill them all.
Kill them all. Kill them.
It's illegal to kill them.
Oh yeah, no, it's.
I know.
All right,
I know.
Kate.
I've been told.
Don't kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Seriously.
But
Here's the game warden calling me now.
Yeah, it's like, don't talk about killing cormorants, whatever you do.
The ones that are wet are trying to dry out. They look like
Interesting. Is it for you? Don't want to take that one?
No, I'm telling you, it could have been the game warden. I'm
No,
kidding.
that's all right.
No, there's certain things. There's certain
Stop
things,
talking about the cormorants.
certain things that have affected the ecosystem negatively, and that's one of them. That's one of them. And I've driven to these lakes all over the country. The real flat ones have got a problem. Them cormorants really hurt them on the really flat lakes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm trying to think. You brought up kind of an, you know how this show goes. We always end up where we don't intend to be.
Sure.
What other invasive animals are out there destroying our fishery that affects bass fishing?
Oh, I don't know that
It's
they're.
kind of a trick question, you know.
You know.
I mean-
everybody.
Snakes and gators, you know, in the south.
You know, my dad made the comment about stripers a long time ago.
Dude, now, go ahead, because I'll tell you a story
See
about
there?
that one. I know about stripers.
Got a rise out of him.
Yeah,
right
I
on.
did. Only because I saw it with my own eyes.
I've seen it take place out west.
Same.
Out west was one of the worst. They put them in Lake Mead and some of those
Mhm.
lakes for sport.
Right.
Okay, saltwater stripers. Okay, a saltwater striper. I think the statistics on a saltwater striper are they have to eat their weight in food every day.
hmm
It's something crazy like that. You think about that. You take a 20-pound fish, and he has to eat his weight in bait fish every day,
Mhm.
and then you have a school of 100 million of them.
Right.
Wait a minute. Now there's no bait fish. It happened out west. Ate up all the food. So
Did-
they had to get rid of them. Right here on Lake of the Ozarks, I don't know why they don't get bigger, but they introduced them a little bit. So now we have hybrids. We have white bass, striper mixes,
And stripers.
and stripers. We do have stripers, and they do spawn. Simple as that. They spawn because when I go white bass fishing in the summertime, do that a lot, just to have fun. Right before dark, take grandkids out, go out there catch, boatload of white bass.
You like to eat them.
And I love to eat them. Yeah, absolutely. But you go out there and you catch 25. There's probably only out of 25, about 15 of them that are truly white bass. The rest of them are hybrids and stripers. They are multiplying out here at a lot faster rate than everybody thinks. All right?
But also-
You guys live on the low end of the lake, so you don't see it quite as much. But in the wintertime, every now and then, when it's really dead slick calm out there on your end of the lake, there will be times where you look out across that calm water, there's fish as far as you can see.
Now,
When you turn on your live scope and you wonder what that is, white bass and hybrids. Simple as that. I've got a spot where I like to fish.
when you get it installed.
I got a spot down here on the upper end of the lake where I like to fish. And I like to fish because of the way the current comes around a point and it really clusters them up. So it's always an easy place to catch a bunch of fish. And every year I go out there, I leave my forward-facing sonar turned off because I can't stand to see them. Every year it gets worse and worse. It gets to where you can't see the bottom. There's so many of them out there.
Right. But to answer your question, why don't they get bigger? That is one fish that's actually harvested out of this lake pretty regular.
Yes, they do.
A
They
lot of
catch-
people eat them. A
They-
lot of people catch them. It's a lot of fun.
They do, but
And I think there is a somewhat of a balance. So far.
I think
So far.
they're getting ahead of us.
They said the same thing about mountain lions. They didn't exist, and then all of a sudden, guess what? You know, all right.
I think they're getting ahead of us though.
And bears.
And my dad told,
Yeah.
my dad said it 20 years ago. He said they're not supposed to be in here. They shouldn't be in here. He said at some point in time, they will cause a problem. The good Lord did not want them in here, or he would have put them in here. He said now that they're adding them, it will cause a problem somewhere down the road.
Interesting.
Same
So-
way with the big bass fires.
But we had that.
Yeah. So
We don't have
we always challenge each other in all of our travels. You said Mead. I've been to Mead. I saw it on Havasu.
Yep.
And we went from Vegas to Havasu. And the first time I ever went there, I didn't realize that it was Table Rock times 2. Lake Havasu, you can see the bottom 50 feet.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on the dock, and it was 30, 40 feet down. And I'm like, what is all that moving down there? It looked like snakes. They were stripers. And they were laying on the bottom. They were cruising along. And they said the lake was so clear because they eradicated everything out of it. And those guys have to run way far away from the pressure to find bass.
I actually finished
It's kind of cool.
the only time I
Not
fished.
cool, but neat to see.
Only time I fished Lake Havasu, I finished second in a BASS out there, and I found them back in a backwater, way up the river, back in a little backwater slough that about half the day it was dry. You couldn't get in and out of it, and I gave an interview after the second day, and the guy interviewing me was from out there. And he says, you know, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm pitching a jig. But I said, I found them when I seen some fish schooling. And he just chuckled, just right out loud. Just, and I thought, okay, I don't get it. You know, I just said I saw him schooling. And so we got done with the interview, and I asked him, I said, why'd you chuckle over the schooling?
What's so funny?
He says, fish don't school here. He said, there's nothing for them to eat. And I got to thinking about it, and I thought, you know, he's 100% correct. What I seen the fish that I was catching eat was a bluegill. Drove him to the top of a patch of grass and got him out on top, and he ate him on the surface out of a patch of grass.
And the other fish came in to see what was going on?
And there was other fish heard that noise and got over there around that patch of grass and was actually looking to eat. And I really think that would draw them to the patch of grass that I was wanting to fish, because I fished 3 days and fished a patch of grass that wasn't as big as my bass boat for 3 days. Now, mind you, it wasn't a great tournament. I had 3 fish, 2 fish, and then 4 fish on the last day and finished second. Okay? It sucked. It was bad. And I think I had 19 pounds total in a tournament, but 20 pounds won. And but he laughed at me because I seen some fish schooling. And I didn't get it, but there's no food. They've eaten it all up. No minnows. No minnows for the most part. They've eaten them up and gone. And that's one of those deals that stripers don't belong in there. They're not supposed to be there. So it's one of those deals that, you know, yeah, man screws up a lot of good fishing water. Did we need those stripers to keep the fishing industry alive? I don't think we did on Lake of the Ozarks. And I bet you now that those guys have been out there and lived around them for the last 40 years, I bet you those guys are thinking, it ruined our bass fishing.
Have we ever talked about muskie in this lake? Haven't?
A little bit.
Have we? All right. I don't want to talk about otters on this lake. So, correct. We've already talked about it, so I'll skip that one.
It's fine with me.
I just want to know if you've ever caught a muskie in this lake.
Yep.
Damn it. All right.
I caught a pickerel out of this lake, too.
You did not.
Oh, yeah.
Totally did not.
Pickerel? Chain pickerel. It's a pike. A pike like you catch up north.
No, you
Only they're
didn't.
small. They're called chain pickerels.
Hmm.
Yeah, they
Okay.
live here. He doesn't know what he's talking
kind of like the threadfin versus gizzard shad, right? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, they both live here.
Okay.
Do you get somebody on the show to prove me wrong?
I'm working on it.
I don't care what you think.
I get all the good guests. You know. Maybe one of these days you get Peter T on or one of your celebrity fishermen.
You got all the good guests. Wait a minute.
Yep.
Who called him?
I told you to call him.
I'll be damned.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's move. And why can't we talk about the otters?
Because it's going to turn into a conservation bash.
It should be. It should be.
Welcome to Real Unfiltered Talk.
It should be a conservation bash.
Yeah, well, I mean,
They serve no purpose in Lake of the Ozarks.
but I don't want to get way too far in the weeds here, but
Okay.
so, no, but let's just like cover it all in one big lump, okay? They introduced otters into the lake. It's wrong. They decided that crawfish are invasive species.
That's right.
That's wrong. They brought
Pretty crazy.
elk to Missouri.
That's wrong.
I don't know why. They got black bear moving up north. Don't understand why. What are we
If they
missing?
if they-
Mountain lions don't exist until you get them and they say don't touch them.
If they naturally migrate to here, through.
I think bears are moving.
Yeah.
I think that bears
I
do
got
move.
no problem with that.
The elk did not make their way here.
No.
Oh yes, they did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they put otters. Yeah, they put otters
Yeah,
into the balance of the ecosystem.
Yes.
That was introduced by the Department of Conservation.
Well, if they put them in the creeks,
Yep. No.
they're going to make their way to where the fish are at.
Mhm.
They know how to paddle. They're going to paddle their way to where the most food's at.
Yep.
What are you smiling at? Oh, okay.
Is it your pizza? No, it was the one I was. Oh. We can bring Amanda on and talk about the invasive species of science. So, hippo. Oh, here we go. So Amanda says, "Remember hippo." Fire it away. I'm gonna try to convey it to everybody that's online. Overharvesting is the H. Uh-huh.
One of these is
Pollution,
pollution,
population,
and then what is it? Man,
overpopulation.
Yeah. Invasive species.
Invasive is I.
I'll have to sit down and remember, but the acronym.
We'll have to have her back on, won't we?
Think about all the.
A former science teacher, so you know.
I know you let me up for 6 months. Look what happened.
Right.
You
start
come
thinking
back
about
with a zero, and we'll.
I know that was.
Right.
Right now, it was kind of a dud. I'm joking.
Gosh.
I would give myself like a C- since I try again.
Goodness.
I'm not going to grade you.
All right. So anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of man-made introduced things that kind of affect the fishery as well.
Sure. Truman Dam.
But yeah, well, I mean,
You want me to throw somebody under the bus? Harry Truman.
yeah, well, it wasn't Harry Truman. They just named it after
you
him.
sure?
Yep. That was flood control. But let's go one step
And,
further.
and that has to happen. I agree 100%.
It does. But let's go one step further. Lake of the Ozarks, little history lesson for everybody out there, was built during the Great Depression, 20s through the 40s. I think it was 30, 35, 36,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. And anyway, but the whole point is that in order for people to have a job, to have income, to work, they logged and stripped and developed everything before they flooded it, which is unlike Truman Lake above us, unlike Lake Sam Rayburn, unlike a lot of lakes that they left natural developed and they flooded. This lake was stripped to the bone, and they logged it. It
was clear cut
was clear cut,
to a point.
and when they ran out of time, they top cut everything
Yeah.
and strapped wood to the floor of the lake. They literally took logs and strapped them down to the floor of the lake, and now they're. I don't know if you know the story. Do you know the story about historic logs? So here's a great story for you guys, and it's an absolute true story. If not, contact Ameren. They will validate the story as true, because I make up a lot of stuff, but it's not made up. When they logged the lake and they ran out of time because they were going to flood it, there's just no more time. They took strapping and they strapped these logs to the floor of the lake, which they stayed there for close to 100 years. And in about 75 years, the straps started breaking and the logs would come to the surface. Now, for those who are treasure hunters, I know it sounds weird. If you can find and document a historic log, you can make bank because the companies like violin companies and like that historic preserved wood that's been preserved in water for 75 to 85 years, those logs are worth a lot of money. What happens is they float up to the bank. People call in and say, hey, I've got this old log that's covered, it's black, it's in my cove, it's got these stakes in it. Airmen contact somebody to come in, they chop it up, they haul it away, and it's gone. But if you know what it is, and you can, these logs are approximately 30 to 50 feet long, and they're perfectly cleared. But you can find a historic log, they'll document it, you can keep it, you can sell it, you'll make some serious money. You ever seen one?
Not that I could say is for sure one. No.
Yep, I don't think I have either.
Yeah,
But-
not that I know
But
of.
they do exist. They're kind of like an Easter egg. Kind of interesting, right? You didn't know that, did you?
I got a lot of gas in my boat. I'll look for one.
Didn't know that, did you?
I'll go search around. No, I did not.
I
I know about the trees and the aged wood underwater
Yep.
and stuff like that. You know.
Nope.
But
All right, here we go.
is there something to do with those?
Let's see. It's the hippo that Amanda was talking about before was habitat loss. Okay, so loss of habitat, strip of the lake. Which, by the way, my point to that whole story was when on this lake, Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri, when they cleared it off, the only thing left that fish can relate to is what man puts back in. So we talk about docks being natural structure, shade, those things, but a brush pile that you sink yourself is what puts fish back in. Lakes on the west, we talk about Havasu, Clear Lake, the Delta, Shasta, all those lakes, it's illegal to put brush back in because they're national parks. And you can't pollute the waterway. Unless you're a Hibden and you throw a picnic table in the water. Or so I've heard. You ever heard that one?
Those tumbleweeds are hard to deal with.
Tumbleweeds. Habitat loss, invasive species, pollution, population, and overharvesting are the things that you look for, the threats to a species of fish in the lake. Hippo. I'm going to have to save that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So if we look at our lake, do we have habitat loss? Not so much. Because
No.
man keeps putting it back in. Invasive species?
Boat docks,
So our invasive species are otters,
stripers.
stripers. Huh? It's weird. We talk about zebra mussels. Zebra mussels are very invasive. However, the Lake of the Ozarks has been really good about, our drum population is so big, they eat zebra mussels and they process them. So they never really got out of hand, even though it was introduced.
Another thing that got rid of zebra mussels, crappie.
Crappie?
Yep.
No.
You did not know that.
I did not know that.
I'm fixing to tell you something that you didn't know.
Hmm?
Really?
Hmm?
Did you know that zebra mussels have to turn loose out of them shells?
And crappie eat them?
And crappie eat them?
Nope, did not know that.
Yep.
The only thing I'd heard that the drum...
In the springtime, real close to the same time that the crappie spawn, those mussels come out of those shells, float to the surface, and those crappies eat the crap out of them. That's why they don't last in specific lakes. That's why Lake of the Ozarks, they were here for 1 year.
Huh.
And they, right? Really,
Roughly,
within a
roughly.
year.
They are on the list of invasive, yes.
Within a year, the zebra mussels just disappeared.
Hey, did he go to sleep? Oh, gotcha. Okay.
They were here, and when I say they were here, I mean you broke your line when you set the hook on brush, stuff like that. But think about what happened between that year and the next year. Just first thing you know, they're gone.
See, I heard it was drum, because the drum ate the crap out of them at the bottom. But the reason they stayed was because a drum will grind a shell, but sometimes they don't, and they pass them through naturally, and they're still alive when they pass them. All right, here we go. See, contradictory. AI says not the same. They said crappie are not known to be significant predators of zebra mussels. I think you're wrong.
But catfish are.
While some fish like catfish, freshwater drum, yellow perch, they will consume zebra mussels. Now it says crappie are not typically on that list, but they still could. And on a really heavy populated crappie lake, they could. So, interesting.
And now, would you get a much heavier populated lake with crappie?
I'm just giving you like an opportunity to save yourself.
I'm not going
It's
to
like
save
fourth on the
myself because
list.
I believe it.
I believe
I've
it.
seen it.
It's kind of like a 50-foot shark.
When they
I'm sure they exist, but I haven't seen one yet.
When they won't eat your jig under your bobber 6 inches,
Mhm.
but they'll come up and they'll bounce that bobber. What do you think they think they're doing? They're eating stuff on the surface, and they're not eating bugs.
I don't
Oh my
know.
gosh,
I don't know.
you're so hard to convince of anything.
I don't know. It goes back to the motto of the show.
That's right, Phil Unfiltered.
It's a good story. It's up to you to believe whether it's true or not. You know, I don't know. So what did we learn tonight?
Absolutely nothing. Hippo, yeah.
I think we learned quite a bit.
Hippo's a good deal.
We learned about the threats to a species, use hippo, habitat loss, invasive species, population, pollution, and over harvesting.
And in order to get a license, you got to kill 100 cormorants.
Cannot kill a cormorant.
That's right.
We don't like the conservation department. Huh? Protected. Cormorants or conservation? True. Otters were introduced and stripers are not nice.
It's not that they're not nice. They're fun to catch. They
We
just can take over.
and I think that goes with the part of the threats to a species. You know, I think to go back and talk about why they're not so taking over the lake is because I think they are over harvested.
It could be.
You know, and I think that's one of the things that we've talked about a lot with crappie also. And I got to get a biologist on here. I really do. And I just dropped the ball.
They're not coming.
We can get her here.
They're not coming, I'm telling you.
But I think because we don't eat bass is why they don't stock bass. And I think crappie grow so fast and this lake is so big, even over harvesting, they still grow. But I think that's why they only stay 9 to 12 inches, because we eat them all before they get any bigger.
I can believe that.
Well, I mean, it goes to what you've always said about perch. Perch can get really big too. You know, bluegill, rock bass, shell crackers, all those fish can get huge. But on Lake of the Ozarks, they never get past 4 inches hardly, because they get eaten before that.
A lot of people catch them.
Well, and game fish eat them.
Yep.
So we don't have the opportunity for those fish to get big. So the question becomes is why do they get so big on Kentucky River, on Kentucky Lake? Because it's TVA, because the current moves a lot and there's so much more competition that those fish can grow, or is it
Yeah.
because they have better places to hide? The demographic is different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but they don't grow as big.
Where? Here.
Yeah, here.
Right. Not. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, we don't have them as
we've
big. as they-
talked about it a lot. We may not have talked about it to the public, but if I was Josh Jones, who is a big live scoper guy who catches trophy fish, he's like, go to Texas, go to OHIV, go to these places. That's where the big fish go. If I was going to promote the one place in the country to catch giant bluegill and shell crackers, Kentucky Lake, that is the thing. And we're going to go. We just missed it this year. I told you we were going to go this year, but we missed it. That'd be a trip we all need to take. We'll take our posse.
We could.
You don't have any idea. You guys are smiling, but you have no idea what I'm even talking about. We'll talk about it after the show. So, yeah. With that being said, I think we're about done.
Whatever. Sounds good.
What?
Whatever you want to talk about.
No, we're done talking.
Oh, we are.
We're at the conclusion of our show.
Oh,
We've wrapped it up. We've talked it out.
I don't understand the kissing the otters.
What do you mean kissing?
Why you gotta suck up to them otters?
I'm not. I just didn't want to get into why we have such a
I
problem
think
with
they're
otters
cutest
because
and
it's a.
fuzziest when they're dead.
Now, I will say this.
A bullet hole to the head.
I would love to find a baby otter and domesticate it. Have pet otter.
Then you feel
so
bad.
cool.
You ought to go catch them.
Hmm.
Yeah. Lloyd knows where they live.
He kills them.
Yeah, he does.
And I would love to find a baby one. They're really cute.
Oh
they,
yeah,
they
they're
squeak
cute.
and
Yeah.
it forced me to build a pool just so I can have an otter. It's awesome.
You're
Then I wouldn't
right.
have to get Sam a dog.
I think you're the reason we have these problems.
No.
People like you
no.
wanting exotic pets.
I had a raccoon. I let him go. That's the only exotic pet I ever had. Never had a monkey.
I raised a deer.
See? You weren't supposed to.
Nope. I told my wife, take it back.
Take it back. That's funny. Hey,
Didn't
super!
listen.
I got to give a big shout out to Lloyd at Hiawatha Beach up at the Big Nangua, Little Nangua,
It'd
Big
be
Buffalo, Big Buffalo,
Little Buffalo.
Little Buffalo.
You are way off.
I never can get it right because I think he's in the big, but he's in the little.
Little.
Lloyd's in the Little Buffalo. I didn't see him tonight. He's been in and out of doctors and that kind of stuff, and I'm sure he's had issues with his boat because Lloyd always has issues with his boat. He does, more so than you.
He puts a lot of miles on one.
He does, and river guys tend to use them up a little harder.
That's right.
But if you guys are up, it's summer, it's ice cream, it's Little Buffalo, it's
Cold
Hiawatha
beer.
Beach Resort. They have beer too.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had beer. They still have gas.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Gas, beer, and ice cream. It doesn't get any better up the river. Go see Lloyd. Check it
Sure.
out. Our big sponsor. Our only sponsor. So
Sure.
it's all right. Shameless plug. Got anything?
Nope, not really.
Really?
I'm not going to be here next week, I don't think.
Where are you going?
I am going to Louisiana to go fishing.
Nice. Are we still doing shrimp?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that later.
Yep.
We'll talk about it after the show. Oh, yeah. Got to
No,
pay in advance, though. You're not going to get any. So hopefully maybe we'll do a remote. And
Okay.
if not, we'll see. Is Peter T going?
Yep.
All right.
See how the phone service and everything is.
Yeah, we'll see. If not, I can bring another. There's other Hibdons I can bring on the show.
Yeah. Well, not two of us.
Huh?
Not two of us.
Lawson going?
No, Lawson's not.
Peyton's going with you?
Peyton's going with me.
Lawson or Connor? I can bring Lawson on. Maybe.
It's Wednesday night, though.
Fishing nights. Yeah, well, we'll see. If not, we'll move to Friday. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. So thanks for tuning in. Hey, guys, thanks for everything you guys done to help us out here at the beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. Tune in next week. We'll be here at the same time, same place on Real Unfiltered Talk. I'm James Brown alongside Dion Hibdon. I want to thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you all next Wednesday night. Appreciate you. Done.
I don't guess I understand you.